Hmm.
Did you get that? Should I
Yep.
get
Yep,
a start?
I heard it. You're good.
Yeah.
Start, yeah, 12.
All
Let's
right.
go.
All right. It
Let's
is
just wait.
starting now. Everyone's
We have
coming
like
in.
60 people, so should be good.
Excellent.
Should be fun. It's our actually first webinar too.
Oh, good. Yeah, I think it's my first one too. I've done a
Oh,
lot of
really?
like recordings, like podcasts and stuff, but something live, I don't think I've done before. So, interested to see what I say.
Because you're a great speaker, yeah? You know that.
I
Well,
appreciate that.
we're gonna
Thank
talk
you.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Take it away, Bogdan.
How many people we have
Yeah.
We
Just
got
so
9 in the
far?
crowd so far. You want to wait for 10 now?
Yeah, let's wait a little bit more and then we.
wait for them to trickle in.
Yep. Yeah, we're so excited, and thank you for accepting that. That was awesome.
No, of course. No, the pleasure's mine. It's always happy. And then I didn't realize that you're part of EO. So Liam was pretty excited to run into you there and chat with you then. So that was awesome. And
Yep.
yeah, no, it's
I was
I'm
like,
happy you guys reached out.
yo, Yard Dogs. I was like, we just talked.
Well,
Was
it
he
was
was he
right.
wearing his shirt? That's how you recognized him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
It
you
was
always
right
in,
after
right?
you agreed to do this, right? Just happened to be.
Like
Yeah,
just a coincidence, I think.
because I reached out to you first, James, and then I think Bogdan ran into Liam later. And I was like, "Hey, we're doing a webinar with James."
Yeah, yeah,
Small little world.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, guys, let's start. Good morning, everybody. It's our first webinar. We're so excited. And today we have a pleasure to meet with the co-founder of Yard Dogs Lawn Care, James. He's absolutely amazing. You guys just crushed Facebook ads. In terms of us, it's Kobzza agency here. Mr. Fleck, our CFO, Rochelle. She's a lead partnership lead here. And myself. Mr. Fleck, take it away.
I mean, it's a
Oh.
pleasure to have you, James. We've been looking forward to this. We see your ads everywhere. If anyone watching hasn't seen the ads, I don't know where you've been, but I'm looking at my lawn every day thinking, I wish it could look like James's, right?
No, I appreciate that. No, thank you so much for having me on. And the pleasure is absolutely mine.
So, for anyone who isn't familiar, do you want to just give the background of how you really got started with Yard Dogs, how you decided social media is the place for you that's kicking business off, and just a little bit of
Mhm.
an intro?
Yeah, absolutely. I like the long version. I have a short version. The long version would take this entire webinar and more. So we'll kind of just stick to the highlights. Started the business 12 years ago with my best friend Liam, and we were just 19 years old at the time. Just started a lawn care company here in Calgary to just focusing on just a couple of services. We were young and ambitious, and we said yes a lot. So like we were before we know it, we're saying yes to maybe a few too many things, and we were Yard Dogs was kind of just a jack of all trades, doing a little bit of everything. Once we were graduating from university, I was engaged to get married. Liam was in a serious relationship as well. And we figured, well, you know what? We should probably decide, are we going to do this Yard Dogs thing going forward, or should we go get a quote unquote real job like our parents are probably praying that we do every single night? Liam did engineering at U of S. I did business and marketing here at U of C. And we decided to give it one full year. Like, let's go one full year and let's see what happens with 100% effort. But if we're going to do that, we got to pick a niche. So we looked at all of our services and we looked at the market and we decided that we're going to focus on making lawns green, healthy, and weed free. So we've kind of narrowed down our services to five different things. That's like fertilizer, weed control, aeration, seeding, and soil enhancements. And we were the yard dog, so we had to play off that brand. So we made three unique packages called the Pomeranian, the Golden Retriever, and the Saint Bernard. And then from there, we became obsessed with becoming the best lawn care company. And right now, our goal is to become Canada's largest and most recommended lawn care company. So that's been 12 years in the making. And to put in perspective now, we service about 12,000 lawns on an annual basis, 12,000 unique customers. We're in six cities right now. So Calgary, Edmonton, Red Deer, Regina, Saskatoon, and Medicine Hat. We're doing expansion to Lethbridge as well as Winnipeg next year. And potentially somewhere else. I can't tell you guys that right now. I'll have to see as that unveils. But it's been going well. Great team here. Liam and I owe everything to our amazing team. We have some great A players on board, and it's been a lot of fun. And we're I feel like we're just getting started.
Okay, I have a
Sweet.
follow-up question for that. So I was reading a little bit about your about section on the website, and it mentioned like in the early days you started as JL Lawn Care, and it sounded like
Yeah.
Jill. So just my question is that Yard Dawgs has built like a really recognizable brand right now. Is it something that you intentionally invested in early on? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the original name was JL Lawn Care, so James and Liam Lawn Care. And that name
Mhm.
lasted a whole like 3 days because this lady comes out as we're like doing her lawn. We were just doing aerations at the time. And she's like, James, thank you. Liam was doing the work, and I'm actually very allergic to grass, ironically. So like a couple days in, we're like, okay, Liam, I can't do the lawn care. I'll just do the sales and stuff, and you just focus on the operation side of things. So we divided that pretty quick. I'm always ahead at doing selling a couple of houses ahead. And then, but a lady that we were doing services for, she came out, she's like, James, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. I'm like, yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for hiring us. And she kept on, no, James, thank you. You guys are doing some great stuff. I'm like, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like, again, thank you for hiring us. Tell your friends and family. But she just kept going. She's like, good for you, James. You obviously had a really hard start in your life, but you're making the most out of your dire situation. And I'm like, look at her. I'm like, sorry, what are you talking about? And she's like, jail lawn care. Jail lawn care. You guys are from jail. You're ex-convicts doing community service. I'm like, no, not even
No way.
close. But as we're driving away from that job, I'm like, we need a new name. So that night, it was myself, Liam, and his mom. We're having dinner and a beer, and like, so we were just spitballing names back and forth. And then at some point, somebody said yard, and somebody said dogs, and Yard Dawgs, Yard Dawgs. I like that. Has a ring to it. And that is how the name came to be. There wasn't some sort of huge scientific method of like market research or like that was the best name. No, it was just like someone thinking that we're from jail. And we had to pivot pretty quick.
Sweet.
It's so awesome how it's kind of like snowballed now too to like different packages or the different breeds of dogs. It's so cool.
Yeah,
I
that's it.
I
It's
have
quite
a
fun.
follow-up. I have a follow-up question about who came up with that ad. Look at Yolanda. Look at mine. Ah, Yolanda isn't mine. That ad it destroyed Calgary
Well, of
completely.
course, of course, we all know it's copied from the Old Spice ad, from the Super Bowl commercial that they had, way back when, back in I think it was like 2007, 2008. I remember seeing it when I was a kid, and it was all over YouTube. So I just thought, hey, it'd be kind of do a fun little spin-off on that ad, and along with dozens of others that I did. And yeah, it just the scripting. We have someone great named Nicole that helps me put together these ads there too. We really jive off each other pretty well. And yeah, we just I mean, it was a team effort, but it was I can't take all the credit. I did get inspired from good old Spice for that one.
And
I
is
So
that
think you
your
guys
best
did.
performing ad?
Yeah.
No, no.
No.
My best. So to put in perspective, like, and one thing that I can talk about later today is that you have to do a lot of volume to figure out what works. Because the truth is, you have no idea what works, but the algorithm can probably figure out what works because it has access to all these people on Facebook and Instagram. So essentially, I make well over between 40 and 100 variations of ads. And I have different hooks, I have different offers, I have different bodies, and a different call to action. So those are the four components of a solid meta ad. And from there, I can see that over the since April 1st, we have had 10 million views on our ads. And the sales from it have been very successful. Like I'm very happy with how they've gone. But that ad was good, but I have one that performed better. And you never know. Again, you don't know which one's going to work. You got to make a lot. You put it out there and let the algorithm do its thing.
mm,
Yeah, agreed. When we read some comments on that ad, people like, yo, those guys amazing. This ads are beautiful. That's when people
No,
saying, it, which means you guys did really well, right?
no, thank you. No, we had one of me getting kicked by a cow into a bunch of chairs. That one's probably one of the best ones. There's me just simply like blowing a dandelion. That one did super well as well.
I've seen that.
There's ones of me getting hit by a bull into a truck. That one did very well. There's one me like just pretending like the people are looking at my grass and everything. That one does really well too. There's there's been so many that do well, and the trick is you put them all out there. Then the ones that are not performing, you need to shut them off because they're going
Yeah.
to eat up your budget. You have to be very deliberate. This is not a set and forget kind of thing. To be meta ads, you have to be very careful because you can spend a lot of money in the wrong direction if you're not spending a lot of deliberate time. So I do spend a good chunk of my time reviewing the ads, seeing how they're doing, and the ones that are working well, let's go all in on. The ones that aren't working well, time to shut it off. I thought that was going to be a winner, but it wasn't. And I get pleasantly surprised sometimes by the ones that do well versus the ones that don't do well. Again, you just got to do a lot of variation of volume.
mm.
That's
Yeah,
true. Sorry, go ahead, Bogdan.
we have the same. Sometimes like, guys, this ad will just crush it. And like, Bogdan, you were wrong. Sorry. It was like, sorry, guys.
That's a bit about my question.
Yeah.
With the thought process behind the ads, I know it's
Mhm.
hard to tell which ones going to do good and do bad. You think one's going to do great and it ends up not. What about the difference? I know a lot of people think the most professionally recorded stuff is going to go crazy, and then a simple organic video on the phone does better. Have you had that experience?
I sure have, yeah. Because we have to remember that people like they just want to see a real person. They just want to see a founder running his business and doing some good work there too. So like we've got to be fancy, Sony cameras and the polished editing like a Netflix series, and it just doesn't do well. Versus like, you know what? Throw a mic on, let's get going, let's record this, and let's just get it done today, not tomorrow, and put it out there. I find people are in a day of AI and all these things. People are desperate for just genuine people and creativity, originality, and just someone that's willing to have some fun with it. We have to remember too that they are on Facebook and Instagram. They are not there looking for things to buy. They're there to unwind. They're there to kill time. They're there to just kind of just shut off from the world for a little bit there too. So we need to meet them where they are. We're not going to walk in and be like, "Hi, my name is James and I'm with Yard Dawgs Lawn Care. If you need a nice lawn, we are your company because blah, blah, blah." Like, no, you have to get in there, make them laugh, have them show, "Oh, yeah, these guys, or I've seen this, or who the heck is this?" And you want them to share, you want them to comment, and you want them to all of a sudden think, you know what? Now that he has my attention, now that I'm thinking about it, my lawn does look like crap. I do have a lot of weeds. I should probably do something about this. And with that being said, there's a time when the demand is far greater than the others. So I ran the ads earlier in March and they didn't do very well. I shut them off. I started them in April again, substantially better. May is our lawn care tsunami, the huge tidal wave of leads coming at the same time. So April, May, and June, I'm allocating like 70% of my annual budget for meta ads in those 3 months because that's when we do 70% of our annual sales. So you have to be very deliberate about these kind of things. And you have to remember that not everything works. I mentioned earlier that we're in 6 cities, and I find some ads do a lot better in some places than others. Like, for example, in Edmonton and Edmonton is the best performing place for the ads, believe it or not. Calgary's a close second. But in Medicine Hat, people respond way better to a Yard Dawgs picture and one of our signs in the lawn. So it's a static ad. It's not a reel. People respond better to that one there. And you wouldn't guess that. How would you know that? But I guess you have to really start to consider something called demographics. A demographic is going to be telling you all about essentially your avatar, your customer that you're going for. What is their ideal age? What is is it a man? Is it a woman? Like, who is buying these services from you? Are they working? Are they retired? Do they have this kind of income? On Facebook and the Meta Business Suite, as tedious as it is, you can get into those nitty gritties. So you really want to try to figure out the demographic you're going for, who's your avatar, as Alex Hormozy would say, and really get into who you're going after. But yes, to answer your question, I find polished isn't the way to do it. Being very clear, having some good humor, a strong hook that leads to a very strong body to showcase your credibility, followed up by a very clear offer of what's in it for them to incentivize them to take action now, not later, because they will forget. Because remember, the second they swipe away, there's 15 billion other videos that they're going to be seeing there too. And a very, very, very clear call to action telling them exactly what it is you're walking them to do right here, right now.
Okay, so you've kind of walked us through how the ad works, how you're getting some leads from the ads. Can you tell us like what happens next for the other business owners who are thinking like, okay, they're getting all these leads, then what? Are they clicking to book? Are they checking out your website, your Google profile reviews? What happens?
Yeah, sure. And let's not put the cart before the horse. Before we start spending money on advertising, we need to make sure that we have a few things in place. There's no point in getting all these leads if you don't know how to sell them. You need to have a strong sales process and you need a way to call them quickly. I am baffled by how long companies take to call their leads. We do not wait in a day where we can get an Amazon package in the same day and we can just get our food hot in 30 seconds. We need to be calling our leads, and I'm not exaggerating, within 30 seconds or less. Because every single minute that goes by, 2 minutes, guess what happens? Their baby starts crying. Their boss calls them. The doorbell rings. Life happens. And the second their attention is diverted, you've lost that opportunity. So I have everyone on our team. We're calling our leads in 30 seconds or less when we can. Of course, it's not always that easy, but waiting 15 minutes, half a day, God forbid the following day, it's too late. They may have submitted a form on your website. Guess what? They may have submitted a form on 2 of your competitors as well. He who calls the lead first has the greatest likelihood of closing them right then and there with a strong sales process. But speed to lead is everything for us. All of our guys, they have smartwatches, not because I want them to check the time and when they're leaving work. It's so they get a notification when a new lead comes in that just got submitted a form on our website or through the Facebook ads, etc. And we have a very strong follow-up process that we use in our CRM. We use something called HubSpot, but we have a very strong sales process that we then follow to make sure that we are working these leads because we spend a lot of money on our advertising and we do not want that. We are doing this to make a profit. We're not going to let that go to waste. So we have to make sure that we are really working these leads before we even start to get them. Make sure you're ready for the volume that you could get and have a strong sales process.
I think so many people are underestimating the aspect of speed, right? It's the most simple thing. Just answer right away. The other day we had a lead come in at 0 minutes and on the email, and I called and he's like, "What? You already saw it?" And it's instantly a step up that you have, and people just don't take that for granted, right?
And subconsciously, they're thinking, wow, they're on top of their lead process. They're probably going to be on top of their services too. Like they're going to take care of me because it looks like they're taking care of what they're doing. They're running a tight ship. You want people to say, wow, that was fast. I love hearing that. And we make a very deliberate effort to do that. And it's not easy, especially when life does get busy and you're in the swing of things. But it's so crucial before you spend more marketing on marketing, even before you go change your offer, you go change your ads, just start calling your leads sooner that you get, and you will increase your close rate.
Amazing.
Speaking of Alex Hormozi, I've seen you guys talk to him, right? You visited?
Yeah, I went to Alex Hormozi's workshop that was June. I did that whole workshop there with him, and I've been watching his stuff for years. I've learned so much from that guy, and his 3 books are awesome. My favorite one's actually the $100 million Leads, the blue book. That's my favorite out of the 3. But yeah, we went to the workshop, and it was great to be with a whole bunch of other entrepreneurs, going over kind of their problems and their constraints in their business. My biggest takeaway from that workshop was just like, if you have to hyper focus and violently attack the constraint that your business is going through right now, because you have a million things on the go. There's 1,000 things that you probably could do at this time. But what is the lowest hanging high leverage fruit that you have in front of your business that you could tackle to really move the lever? And you just focus on that single thing. So if you are getting these leads and you're not closing them, well, it sounds like your constraint is the closing process. You're going to dial all the way in on that until it is fixed before you go move on to the next thing and then go find the next constraint. The theory of constraints is that your business will only grow up to where your biggest constraint is. So tackle those. And as a founder, especially, that should be probably the highest leverage thing that you could possibly work on.
So let's say that one of some company that's listening today that maybe doesn't have a huge advertising budget, maybe that's their constraint. What's one thing that you think that they could learn from your approach to marketing that they could implement?
So we get customers in 4 different ways here at the company. The first one, like I mentioned, was paid social. So that's where you're seeing all those ads. The other one would be paid search. So that's running Google ads. For people actively looking for services, having yours pop up number 1. But number 3, I think, was where I'd probably start. Let's just build a strong organic base of leads. So this is by having strong SEO. This is by having very strong Google reviews. If you look up Yard Dawgs Calgary, Yard Dawgs Edmonton, and Yard Dawgs Red Deer, I'm proud that all those have over 1,000 reviews, and it's always a 4.8 and above. And that's what we want to see, because if you're doing that, Google's like, this seems like a credible company that I'm going to bump up to the top. And I gotta say, guys, when people do lawn care Calgary, whatever your keyword is, whoever's at the top right under the ads gets the lion's share of the leads. It's not you don't get you get like 90% of them before the second place. So it is a winner take all, and you have to do that by having a very solid website, a very strong get those Google reviews in. You definitely do want to outsource your SEO. I'd recommend it can be very technical. I recommend definitely finding a good company to do that for you. And then the last thing, the way that we get customers, essentially just having a strong brand. Every single time we do a service on someone's lawn, we are putting that dog bone on. I'm not sure how many of you have seen our trucks, but they all have a dog on top of it. They are all deckled out. They are all showing the brand, and almost every single shirt I own has Yard Dawgs on it because then I can run the business. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, not really, but yeah. But you have to make sure that you have a strong brand in addition to these things. Paying for ads probably should be a little bit later on in your process because it can be very expensive. But if you know how to properly build a money model around the ads, it can be very lucrative for you.
Could you give the percentage breakdown of each of those flows? Like what percent of your leads, if you don't mind sharing, are coming from ads versus organic versus meta?
I am giving an educated guess right now. I don't have that in front of me, but I would say that this year, probably 40% of our leads came through meta and 55 plus came through just organic, searching it. And that's kind of combined with people saying, oh, I saw your trucks, I saw your signs and whatnot. And those are free, guys, by the way. Like you pay, yes, you pay a little bit to get the ball rolling and getting stuff happening, but I'm not paying every single lead for those ones to come in. And those are much higher quality than my meta ads. So if someone submits a form on Facebook, the quality of that lead is inferior to that of someone who just found you through their research and going there too. Normally, Google Ads would be a pretty sizable part of our campaign. We didn't rely on them as heavily this year. We decided to really go in all mostly on Meta, and of course, having a very strong. Like we're fanatical about being the number one company that pops up when people write down lawn care, insert city, or weed control services city, that kind of thing. Very important to us.
Yep.
Yeah, you're speaking our language, right?
Yep.
So the difference is the intent, right? Facebook, as you said, they're just scrolling along. They'll find you. If they're searching up the keyword, they have intent to actually look for that service and find a solution, right? But I really love what you said about the importance of reviews. We were at the Home and Garden show last year, and you'd be so surprised how many of those companies that have budget because they have a booth at the show and they have a running business, and they don't even have a Google My Business profile. No reviews, no profile, nothing. And that's a big chunk, especially what we've seen in the change of SEO, of how important that map pack is for service-based businesses and just having reviews coming in. So I love that you mentioned that. It's our number one step as well. Anyone starting, that's the first place you go. It's free, right?
Yeah.
It's free. And what's crucial, Google, like, I mean, I'm doing it for everything. We're going to go to a restaurant. I'm just going to check the Google reviews to make sure it's not a 2.0. Like, and like, you don't need to have a 5.0. And in fact, I think that it's actually better not to, because we're humans, we make mistakes, and people check what the lowest reviews are and how the company replied to those reviews. So like we make mistakes all the time, and sometimes we're not able to rectify that with the customer, although we try very hard. But how we respond to the 1-star review, I need people to leave. If they're not going to work with Yard Dawgs, we at least need to walk away from each other believing that they've been treated fairly. So it's very important that you like. But again, 4.7 or higher is pretty important. Even like these days, guys, the standard is just so high. So having a 4.0, it's not good enough. Having a 4.3, I don't think it's good enough. Like 4.7 or more is what I'm looking for as a consumer. And I find that you need to get a lot of them, because nowadays, like back in the day, yeah, you had 30, you're good to go. But then it became 100, you're good to go. But there's 500, and now it's 1,000. Now like, you need to get into the thousands. And that might sound a little bit daunting for someone just starting, but you get them one at a time. And you do it by doing great work for your customers, and very importantly, asking them to write you a Google review. Don't just like hope that they will, because like people are busy and people don't necessarily go out of their way to write you a review unless they've been truly wowed. But by you asking your customers, you probably have a lot of customers already that are very happy with their services. They come back every year. You have a nice recurring clientele, very high retention. Go and ask them to go ahead and help you grow your business by writing a 5-star Google review. Most people have a Google account, and most people are so willing to do it. But number one thing, make it easy for them. You do not just say, write me a review, please. Oh, yeah, sure. And they don't do it. No, you have to literally text them the exact link that if they click on it, it will not bring you to their Google profile. It will bring you to the pop into your writing the review for that person. So you have to make it so easy for them, because like it is a bit of an inconvenience for them to do it, and they are busy, and you probably have their attention for 10-ish seconds. And if they click on it and it gets slightly complicated, guess what? They're moving on. They're moving on. They said they would do it. They don't do it. You're annoyed because they didn't do it, even though they just honestly completely forgot. It was not malicious whatsoever. And that's life. So make it super easy for them and ask them regularly, especially when people are happy. And there's a really good saying that when you go to a steak restaurant and you're very hungry, that is the time that you do your upsells, because they order the steak and then you sell them. Oh, okay, here's a nice wine that would pair with that. Here's a nice dessert that would go afterwards. That's when the hunger is the highest, is when you do your cross-selling, upselling. But when the satisfaction is the best, when they're finished their steak, when they finish their meal, you don't go try to sell another steak. You now ask them to leave you a review because their satisfaction is high. So once you complete a service and you get anyone that ever emails you, thank you so much, that was great, or on the phone says thank you, that is an opportunity for you right then and there to ask for a Google review. Send out an NPS score. If you get good results back, the people that gave you a promoter score at 9 or 10, go send them the link and ask them selfishly that this is to help grow your business, and their feedback greatly contributes towards that. Ask, and make it easy.
Yeah,
that was actually my follow-up. You already kind of answered it. How are you collecting reviews? Because you send an email, sometimes people already don't care. Unless they had a really good time, they're not bothered to leave a review. Wondering if you have NFC cards
We have
or a QR or something in person to get them right at that moment, right?
you know what, we will our system after every single visit of a service will send them an email and a text, or sorry, text message, prompt them to write one for us. And
Interesting.
um and our trucks all have QR codes on them. I'll be honest, that thing doesn't really get much. People aren't walking by like, oh my gosh, review. Like, but it is there. But we are texting them. Not even yes, there's emails, but texting, of course, has the highest open rate, as many of you know. We will text them asking for their feedback on the service. And if someone gave us positive feedback, we will then prompt them to write a Google review. If they don't give us positive feedback on the service, or they weren't happy with something, we're not going to ask them for a review. We're going to now have that flow to customer service ticket center. So customer service can reach out and say, hey, Mrs. Jones, I saw that you were, something wasn't quite in line with what the most recent service. Let's figure this out together. So you have to have a strategy along that too. But if you can get someone a link as a text message to someone, that's great. And hey, if you have if you're literally talking to the customer right then and there, have them whip out their phone and do it with you. Walk them through it. What you just showed right there, a tap thing, fantastic. Myself, we don't have people coming to us. We're going to them, and a lot of people aren't home a lot of the time, so we have to reach them in a different way.
True.
But just make it as easy as possible for people and walk them through the process, because their lives are busy. I'll say that 1,000 times. People's lives are busy, which is why we have to hit them up quick for sales, and we have to remind them and ask constantly to get those reviews.
100%.
Bogdan says this all the time.
Yeah, I said your number one priority is reviews. Every single day you wake up like a coffee. You should think about reviews, right?
Okay, let's talk about like how to handle like a negative review. Some people have that experience.
You got to remember like at the end of the day, the customer's perception often is more important than the reality of the situation. We go to a house, we do a very thorough job, everything's good, we're leaving, and then they write in mad saying, he was here for 30 seconds, he didn't do the back.
Yeah.
That probably didn't actually happen. We have ways to go check to see if that actually did happen, because that's a different story. But no, like usually you have to jump on. We just call them straight up, give them a call. Sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to find based on what their Google profile name is, but usually you can find whoever that was. Give them a call, hear them out, let them rant. People are they just want to talk, and they're just looking to know that you care as a company. 9 times out of 10, not only can you get that Google review off, like get them to take it down, you can get them to write you a 4 or 5 star, because people know mistakes are normal. That's totally fine. And they almost just want to see how you deal with it in a way too. Like if you go to a restaurant and if the waitress brings you let's just say she gets her order mixed up a little bit, she brings you a regular Coke instead of a Diet Coke. People know mistakes happen. And what are you looking at? She does, hey, I'm so sorry. Totally our bad. I'm going to swap that for you right away. Does that for you? No questions asked. In fact, you might even like her a little bit more, because you see that she's an honest person and they rectified their mistake. Now, you only have so much goodwill of someone. You can't keep making mistakes and having that be a thing. But when we get a bad review here, the first thing we want to figure out too is like, one, is this genuine? Like, did we mess up? Because if we are at fault, we will go head over heels to make sure that we have done them right in whatever way it happened there. If they are saying something that isn't necessarily true, but it's the way they believe it is, we want to make sure that we're at least having a conversation. And at the end of the day, listen, a bad review on your profile, it can cost you a lot. What are you willing to do for that person? Just, they might be wrong, but what are you willing to do to get them to take it down? Do you have to just completely give them a reservice for free? Like, remember, you giving them a service for free doesn't cost you the value of that service. It costs you whatever your cost of goods sold is. So just provide them a service perhaps, or have a genuine conversation. But honestly, nothing works better than literally picking up the phone, give them the call, hearing them out, and ask, just be honest with them. Hey, these poor reviews, what was our review? Does it actually really negatively impact our business finding good people? Because we are anxious to grow, but we do make mistakes. If you don't mind me asking, like, what would it take for you to take that down today?
Aw.
They'll tell you. They'll tell you. And people are very there's some great people out there, and like 95% of them will take it down if you ask properly and fix the problem. Focus on
Yeah.
the solutions, the solution, not dwelling on it too. Unfortunately, some people will not take it down, or some people, like, whether you messed up or maybe they're being unreasonable, that is life. But I think it's actually okay if you have 1,000 reviews and it's a 4.9. I'd say that's actually better than 1,000 reviews at 5.0.
Yeah.
Because a 5.0 is like, something's
Yeah.
not right. These are fake. Nobody has a 5.0 and 1,000 there too. We make mistakes all the time. I like to see that a company has messed up and owned up to it. That shows credibility to me.
Yeah. Well, we agree 100%.
I just went down a rabbit hole yesterday of a Edmonton business, and yeah, it's hard when it's like it's so close and near and dear to you. It's your local business, you're trying to grow it, and unfortunately I saw the business owner getting like he's retaliating like in the comments, and getting defensive back to the reviews. And yeah, as maybe let's say like a customer that might visit this business, I'm like, the business owner didn't handle it like the best.
And I just noticed that people, they'll go to reviews and then they press the filter lowest and they see how the business replied to the review.
Yes.
So there's an opportunity for you to like kind of showcase, like that's your opportunity to shine.
Yeah, your
Are
personality.
you owning up to things? Are you maybe perhaps in a very collaborative way calling them out to make sure that what they're saying is reasonable? Because like some people will be unreasonable on it, and I think it's fair to actually explain the situation to them, and don't just go silent. Like just make sure you have a very clear, solid response that is it's so there's a lot of mundaneness there. Like you have to play it by ear on the situation and put a lot of things into context. But just remember that people are looking at your response. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We had a client a couple of years ago, so many bad reviews, and everyone, he would just reply like, "You're not a customer, fake, fake, fake," and ask us, take them down, take them down. We're like, man, they're real. We can't, there's no magic button to just poof, disappear. You're doing something wrong, obviously.
Absolutely. No, take full accountability. Like if you've messed up, like what are you doing that's prompting these reviews? If you're getting some negative ones, fix your business. Like like people are not happy. And remember, most people won't write a bad Google review. Canadians are so nice, they don't complain, they just take their money elsewhere. So like, if the fact that they went out of their way to write a bad review, they're probably pretty upset. Like you probably rubbed them the wrong way. And I'm sure if you look seriously at the situation, in one let's say it's completely their fault, I'm sure there's 1% of something that you did to contribute towards this. What can you focus on improving, and how can you actually make sure you don't do that again? Get a little bit better every single day. But just know that these 1-star reviews, I read a stat once, it takes 26 5-star reviews to outweigh one star, because Google will greatly weight the negative on
Yeah.
those. And people, psychology wise, we are very prone to, way more sensitive to negative things for survival purposes than to positive things. So people are going to ask, hey, what's the catch? Let me see the bad. I want to see that. That's why when you're driving on the road, you have the beautiful rainbow to the right and a car accident to the left. Everyone's looking at the car accident. What happened? What happened? They're not admiring the view on the right, right? So your
Yeah.
Google reviews are the same way. Just make sure that you have to sometimes get a lot of volume of good, just kind of outweigh the bad if you weren't able to get that review off. But like we said before, take full ownership of what's going on. If you guys are messing up and you're going to prompt these 1-star reviews, call that person, own up to your mistake, remediate, ask them to take it off, and change your process so you don't make that same mistake twice.
Yeah, and to attest to what you said, the way they reply is a direct, basically, window to seeing what's wrong in the business, right? The way
Mhm.
he's replying that they're the problem every time tells you why the reviews are coming.
Mhm.
But I'm a little bit curious, just looking back, I guess at the fundamental, the start of the growth, what had the biggest impact? Was it first launching social media ads? Was it just getting your SEO strong first? What had the biggest impact to take you from steady growth to rocket?
The number one thing you should do is just have a very strong sales process so that when you have someone that calls into your business or submits a form, regardless of how they found it, you know how to close them. Of course, we started with door to door. That was the very first way that we started. We don't do door to door anymore, but that was the best way to get quick feedback on how to sell. If you don't know how to sell, just go start going door to door with your services. You'll get feedback very, very quickly on what to fix. Assuming you have an okay sales process, definitely start with organic. Make sure that your business is ranking number one on Google when people write, pizza Calgary, a haircutting services in Calgary, and get your reviews up, because and hey, if you don't have any reviews, you don't know where to start, go offer your services for greatly discounted, or I'll say it, free, in exchange for a Google review to start to get your listing. Like if I was starting today and I had nothing and like I didn't know where to start, I would start going door to door and say, hey, like let's say I was cutting lawns, for example. I'd say, hey, do you mind if I cut your lawn? I'm just getting going here. I'm trying to build my reputation. If I cut your lawn for free, would you mind writing me a Google review? And
Yeah.
people will say yes, and I'm sure they'll tip you too. We're not gonna let you do it for free, that kind of thing too. But do what you can to build that up. We've always been very obsessed with building it up. And then once you start to get people coming to you organically, which is awesome, if you have capacity, let's start to look at other ways. So we in our story, we went door to door and all the flyers, all the traditional things. Then we went hyper focused on SEO. I read a great book called They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan, I believe his name is. And he really helped me understand at the time how the internet was working. So we hyper focused on getting organic, and then from there we went into Google AdWords, which changed a lot, by the way. Like you have to stay on top of these things because the internet and AI is changing so quickly. I recommend YouTube for really staying on top of things. And then once we had as a paid search figured out, like Google AdWords, then we went into meta ads. And after meta ads, I started playing with TikTok ads this year. It's difficult. It's not as good as meta ads. Maybe I'm not doing some things right. It's going to take a learning process. But meta ads are unique because I find a lot of people don't know how to do them well, and a lot of people just don't do them. And I'll be honest, like, I'd like to see Mark Zuckerberg use this Meta Business Suite because it is not easy. And a lot of things go wrong all the time. Even if I literally didn't push a button, it just deletes. It's incredibly frustrating. But if you can make it work, to put in perspective, like we spend, like in the past few months, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on our meta ads in particular, and we've gotten great. Like we're not throwing money away. We've gotten great sales in return for that too. But we have really been ensured to call those leads quickly, have a strong sales process, and have very clear, solid ads, and a lot of them to take into account that I don't know which one's going to work.
In terms of budget, let's say if business making $500,000 per year, what's the budget you guys recommend to start? Because that's a lot of people asking this question, right? They're like, is that 30 bucks enough? $bucks enough? $5 enough? I was like, I don't think so.
Hey, no. After, like, I'm spending, like, I'll be honest, I spend $1,000 to $1,500 per day per location. So
See?
I'm like for my meta ads, I'm spending about $6,000 per day in it too. Now
Sorry,
I'm getting more per day.
That's just Meta or Google as well?
That's just Meta.
Amazing.
And how many leads
That's
you getting per day?
I'm happy if I can get a lead for anywhere between $1 and $40 because I will close. We can close 1 in 3 of them. That means it's the cost of acquiring that customer is $120 in marketing spend.
Yeah.
There's more than that when you factor in the sales commission, all that stuff there too. But if I'm having the cost of acquiring a customer is under $200, I'm happy because I know what our lifetime value is for a customer. And we're not looking to service them just this year. We want to take care of everyone until death do us part, essentially. But on average, we'll stay with customers for, 3-4 years. So let's really make sure that we have that worked in and baked into the cake. But to answer your question, if you're doing $500,000 per year, I would definitely recommend like at least looking at 8 to 12% of like your revenue going towards some sort of like your marketing. Like you can kind of have it a few ways. Like if you have a business that's able to run, like if you want to grow, you have to be okay with your business having less profit because we're going to be allocating a lot of that percentage. Let's call it 15% of your business towards your marketing spend. And that 15% you need to allocate towards SEO, towards Google AdWords, towards Meta, towards flyers, towards website development, whatever you choose to do. Essentially, there's more than one way to skin the cat here. But if you want to grow, you're going to have to be aggressive and ambitious with your marketing. So we spend probably closer to, we're in the 20s for our marketing, but we really do want to grow. We want to keep opening up these branches, and we've been doing this for 12 years. So like it's not like we started doing this overnight. When we first started, we were doing $200 on Google Ads, and then eventually we got to $1,000 a day on Google Ads. And then when we started Facebook ads, I think I was doing probably $100 a day. You can do daily budgets versus lifetime budgets. There's plenty of ways to do this. I'd start with $100 a day though. Like you got to put something in there because the algorithm needs something to work with. So just doing like $10 a day, like I'm sorry, good luck. Like it's not going to be the case. You have to take a risk here. You have to take it and take it when your ad's not doing well. That is feedback for you. There's no such thing as like, oh, the algorithm of it. No, is your content good or not? Like, is your ad good? Do you have a very strong hook to captivate their attention? Do you have a very strong body to showcase your credibility? Do you have a very clear call to action? So you're telling them what to do. And is your offer good enough to incentivize them to take action now? If you have those 4 things in place, it'd be unreasonable for you to not get leads and close them with enough of a marketing spend. I recommend a minimum $100 a day.
Yeah. And how many leads you guys getting per day?
400.
400 leads. Wow. So imagine
400 leads during like our peak April, May, and June. Yeah, 400. Several.
That's a lot.
and like there will be some days where like if it rains here, we'll get like 70. If it's hot, sunny, shine, everyone's with lawn care, yeah, we're looking at 200, 300. I say 400 is probably closer to 300, honestly, but it's still very substantial. But that's us during our short window we have 3 months here to really make hay while the sun shines. So like, we will do 70% of our annual sales in April, May, and June. But right now, on average, we're getting anywhere between 70 and 100 leads a day.
For all the locations or just Calgary?
This is for all the locations. I'm blending this all together.
Okay. Yeah, sweet. Wow, that's a lot of leads.
Yeah, there's 4 guys full time in sales here, so it's a busy time.
Amazing.
Wow.
There's actually a question from the chat.
Sure.
It said, James, I'm 21. I own a landscaping company in Calgary. You've been a huge inspiration for years. I really appreciate what you do and taking the time to do things like this. Any tips for marketing to commercial clients? Paid ads haven't worked as well for me in that regard. Is networking the move?
I think cold calling is the move. When we used to do a lot of commercial snow removal here, and we did some commercial lawn maintenance there too. The best contracts I ever got was I would literally be on Google Maps, and I was scrolling and calling the businesses. Click on it, call them. So my sweet spot, I liked going after hotels and churches. Those were my 2 kind of niches there too. So if you're doing landscaping, I'm not sure what kind of service you do, but I would recommend cold calling them. And you ask to speak with the general manager. And hey, you keep working them, you keep calling until you get an answer, and you just ask for the opportunity to compete for their business. And sometimes you just gotta drive. You just gotta drive there, walk on in, and push yourself out there. Car dealerships, I did that as well too. But for commercial, because your average client could be worth way more than ours, like because we do residential lawns under 10,000 square feet, a commercial contract, like I've had some that have been worth well over $100,000 in our lifetime doing snow and lawn care for them. So I would absolutely spend the time to call them, get the email, walk in. All these different touch points do matter. Put yourself out there. Like one thing I got to say, like man to man, the landscaping industry, the bar is pretty low. Like people like don't like they are like this. Like we have. If you stand out, if you really give this some effort, you will make a big difference. But be willing to put yourself out there. And I think paid ads. We're getting a commercial like hotel to sign a contract with you. I don't think that's the right strategy. I would actually straight up do some more outbound efforts on your own behalf. And that's free, man. That just costs your time. Walk in there, call there, send emails. That's free. It's just going to take a lot of time. But start to get good at that to the point where maybe you can hire a sales guy to start doing that full time. But these contracts are worth so much as a landscaper. Like you can afford to do this kind of thing. For us to afford to go I'm just trying to give our client average client price is like closer to $450. For us to just like do this, it's like is it really worth it? How much effort you got to put into it? But you have a client that's worth anywhere between $10,000 and upwards of $200,000 per year over the lifetime of it. Yeah, go out of your way to make something happen. And yeah, just put yourself out there. Like people respond well, and don't be discouraged if they say no right away. I've had hotel GMs call me 2 years after I did an initial cold call to them. Guess why? Because no one else cold called them. So my name is just on this little post-it note there too. And that contract's been worth well over $100,000 over the course of the lifetime that we were doing services for them.
Wow.
Interesting. There's actually another question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
This one might be a bit trickier. Jake says, what is your sales breakdown for your sales guys who are in the sales room? How do you pay them? Can you break it down?
Yeah, so we do an hourly rate plus a commission. And the commission is not based on getting the sale up front. It's actually as the work is completed, because we have to make sure that the integrity of the sales is high. So we do a split between sales as the work happens, they're getting commission the first year, but we also have the commission split so that when the customer returns with us, it's called a perpetuity. They're going to continue to get a commission the next year so long as that customer stays with us, because that's going to force them to ensure that our process is solid and we're setting up people to be success. Yard Dawgs really makes their profit on a customer in the second year. The first year, a little bit, but there's a lot of factors going into it. We want these reoccurring customers. We're trying to build these people that are coming to us for 4, 5, 6 years for our reoccurring like fertilizer and weed control programs, because the weeds do come back. So we want to make sure there's a reoccurring. And when it comes to our process, it's more so about the touch points. Like if you call somebody, only one of 4 things can happen. One is they don't answer the phone. Okay, what is the process? Are you leaving them a voicemail? Are you going to send them an email? Are you going to send them a text message? Are you going to email them? And for how many days straight are you going to do that? Because that was a hot lead that came in. Odds are maybe they could have answered your phone right now. People are busy. Over the course of the next 7 days, I really recommend you call them, email, and text them many times. You got to figure up your own cadence. I don't understand your customer the way you would, but hit them up solidly. So that's the first thing that could happen. The second thing that could happen is they answer their phone and they are not qualified, which means they want a service perhaps that you don't offer. So for us, someone might send a form, we call them, they want lawn mowing or they want spring cleanups. We don't do those services. We do fertilizer and weed control. So I need to have a process for that person. I'm not just going to leave them hanging. I'm going to help them find a solid lawn care company that can do cutting for them and spring cleanups. And if I help them get what they want, they are way more receptive to me offering fertilizer and weed control. You don't close many of those, but you will close like 1 in 5, 1 in 6 if you help them get what they're looking for. So make sure you have a process for the unqualified leads. Now you call someone, then the third situation, you call them, they answer, they're qualified, they want fertilizer, weed control, and then they say, I'm going to think about it after your pitch. What is the process for that? Over the course of the next 7 days, how are you going to send them their quote via email, text message? Are you going to do how many times are you going to follow up with them in the course of the next 7 days to make sure they get on the bus pretty quick? And if they never book with you in those first 7 days, for example, next month, let's do another text blast to them. Let's keep them in our pipeline to build and keep working these leads because you paid a lot of money for these leads. Let's work them until unless they say, stop calling me, you keep calling, in my opinion. That's just my philosophy towards sales. And the fourth situation, of course, you call them, they're qualified, and they say yes. Great. But now we need to have an excellent customer experience. Let's make it a very solid journey so that they can see the expectations that have been promised. Let's deliver on them and let's treat them like gold and have them say, wow, you guys didn't just care about me when you're trying to get my money. You have my money and now you're really showing and doing what you said you're going to do. I'm going to go tell my friends about you and they're going to start sending you referrals and they will come back next year. So make sure you have a very strong process with those 4 situations that I mentioned and make sure you're using a combination of calling, voicemail, text messages, and emails and whatever else you think would be valuable for your situation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about internal and social media. I am curious about your SEO in particular, with the reviews and how that's attributed. Bogdan, do you want to maybe jump in and
Yeah, because we promised today that we're gonna share some tips and tricks for SEO world. So I'm gonna share. We prepared the presentation, right? So I'm gonna share my screen. If you have any questions, please interrupt and stop me, okay? Because I have some tips for Yard Dawgs too.
Excellent.
All right, so we promised today get 10 to 20 jobs per month from Google with 0 ad spend.
or 300 if you're
About us, we already show you guys. We do a lot of fun. We have 20 plus people. We've been at a Home and Garden show, met with a lot of great SEO people. As you can see on the left, Neil Patel, SEO specialist, the best one, Crystal Carter, head of Wix, this lady. Thank you guys. James, thank you for joining. And I said, when I met Liam, I said, look, I have some tips for you. He's like, no way, you're ranking number 1. I said, look, I have some tips for you, okay? He's like, okay.
Excellent.
So what's possible? We know that Google is working really well if you do right. So here's a couple of examples. We're going to talk about restoration company moving, some even events company out of Chicago. Restoration company doing 18 million bucks per year. We're going to talk about that. Moving company, 3.5 million per year. Events, 2.5. And that's exactly what they do. They do Meta, Google Ads, LSA, SEO. That's it. That's the playbook, right? Where is your customers, guys? So we know that 84% of homeowners Google before hiring anyone. Like James said, when they Google and they don't see on top 3, that's it. That's the game over. And people say, oh, I don't believe Google is not working. Well, it's not working because you're on page 2 or 3 or 5. Of course, it's not working, right? And 70% of people using mobile, which is very important. Look at this stat. It says 68% contact a provider directly from Google results. 200 plus people searching near me always, right? If they're searching for, let's say, lawn care, they're searching lawn care near me. And if they find Yard Dawgs, awesome. They're going to call you guys. Like James said, your Google My Business. For those who's listening and thinking, what should I do? I would highly recommend to register your Google My Business today and get your reviews today as soon as possible, right? Because, well, we also ranking number 1 when you type marketing agency Calgary, which is great and brings us a lot of results and a lot of leads. James probably searching right now. It's like, oh, I'm gonna check if that's true. All right, so here's something interesting, right? So GMB proximity. When I'm in Legacy, Southeast Calgary, and when searching lawn care, I don't see Yard Dawgs. Do you know why?
Yes, because the location in this situation, there's some more viable options near you down there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so see, to Yard Dawgs, it's approximately 25, 26 kilometers straight line. If I have to drive, it will be 30 to 35. That's a lot, right?
Mhm.
So if you go here, this is the steps that you should think. So the best ranking potential should 3 kilometers, strong range 3.7, 7 to 12 kilometers possible with a strong profile. Yard Dogs have definitely a strong profile with 2,000 reviews. When you have 20 plus kilometers, it's hard to rank top 3 on the local map pack, right? That's why I recommend to register multiple GMBs. As you can see on the left, there's a company called Ecoline Windows and Doors. And how many Google My businesses they have? That's right, 3. They're doing 5 million in revenue, right? There's some of our customers from Toronto. In every single city, they have GMB. Even let's say this is Toronto, they have a lot of smaller cities around, like Mississauga, Brampton, Vaughan, Richmond Hill. We have all of those Google My businesses with a lot of reviews, right? Bogdan, can one company really have this many Google business profiles? Yes. I'm going to show you something really cool. You'll be surprised, guys. Look at this. Phoenix, Arizona. City population 1.6 million. Yeah. There's a company called A1 Garages Door Services. They have 16 locations. But this company is doing 300 to 350 million a year. Look at this profile on the left. 13,000 reviews. That's a game over for competition. That's why when I said to Liam, I said, look, you have to have 2 GMBs, period. Or maybe like for now, right? Because Calgary is growing. I don't know
Mhm.
if you have guys in Edinburgh. You do? Because I didn't check that.
Oh, we only have a Google listing in Calgary where our shop is right now. We service Airdrie, but we only have that GMB in the one location
Yeah,
for
yeah. I
for
would.
Calgary and area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. So A1 was a big inspiration for me. Like 300 million a year. That's huge. And when you listen to the guy, you can't really leave the house without a review. You have to call the manager. But that's why I look at those profiles. They have 13,000, 5,000. That's insane, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Tommy Mello runs a tight ship.
Exactly. Some of those who's watching and just the beginning, it's crucial to have the right primary category because a lot of people, they don't really understand what's the primary category. As you can see, let's say we talk about HVAC, the tool I'm going to show you to check, see it says GMB category is not found. This guy only one. Always check your competitors, who's on the top 3, what their primary category, right? So Alberta furnace cleaning have 2 categories. Boom, there's guys like this, they have lots, and you can do them, right? You can add them. You can use extension GMB everywhere. We can spy on the competitors to see, okay, what they're using.
Yeah, like a Chrome extension if you're using the Chrome browser.
Correct. Yeah, and there's something new that I've been talking this for quite some time. Ask Maps, and it's coming, and it's AI. So let's say I'm saying looking for lawn care company. If you go to Google right now, on the left side you will see something like Ask Maps, right? So I ask, boom, it's going to show you. It's actually here. It's going to show you a list of companies, and you can chat with Google Maps. Say why you recommend me those companies. That's the next era of search. So you should probably think about that, guys. James.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Like I said, we love Google My Business. It should be your priority because that's a foundation. And if you don't have Google My Business, your website is not going to rank that well, right? Reviews, like I said, digital referrals. 82% more actions happen when you have 100 plus reviews versus when you have 10 reviews. Like those stats kind of cool. That's why we at Kobzza agency have, I believe, 144 reviews. For agency, it's actually really good because we we're focusing a lot. We're doing we're reaching out to people like, hey, can you leave us a review? We're gonna do a free audit and stuff like that. People love
I
it.
like those points at the bottom too. It's also important to have photo reviews. Like if someone
Yeah.
could submit a photo of their lawn, let's say.
James, what we recommend to customers is treat Google My Business as an Instagram. You're doing photos, you put in photos on Instagram and Facebook, just add them to GMB every day, right? Because then you have those signals from Google. Because I usually ask people, okay, you think Instagram is amazing, but how many leads Instagram brought you last month? They're like, not much. Well, what about Google My Business? Like, yeah, well, I have some leads, right? Some calls. Your website, that's the reason also we reach out to Yard Dawgs, because your guys' website is amazing, right? It's a beautiful website. You have nice professional photos.
Simple.
You have
And
simple.
they're
Thank you.
real,
Yeah.
not AI photos.
They're
Yeah,
real.
real photos, professional, right? And people
My
see
ads
that.
are real too, actually. I get comments like AI slop. I'm like, there's nothing AI about my ads.
What?
I am being thrown into chairs, I assure you.
People don't want to see that.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Um, Good versus bad. See, people, what we seeing right now is people love to see the prices, the offers, and all of that on the website. Because when we have this particular client, they're like, yo, Bogdan, ads is not working. I was like, well, probably something wrong with the page. So we changed to this. They start getting some leads, right? Because people wants to see the prices right on the page. I know, James, you have prices, which is amazing. It's so visible. It's easy to understand. There's nothing to hide.
Mhm. No, I don't know about you, but when I see like get a quote, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be expensive. And like, and maybe you're willing to spend the money, but people just need to like they're looking for a tape. Like I like that it says starting from, because obviously it might be more than that, but maybe it's gonna be less from that. It just gives them an idea of what they can
Exactly.
expect, so they can just be better. But it helps qualify them.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's why we have on our website prices too. Like there's nothing to hide. Yeah. Some of the AI stats, which we focus in right now, I think the two main platforms will be popular in the future, ChatGPT and Gemini. Copilot, there's 8% of the web. Google, of course, 14 billion. That's majority of the leads still comes from Google. A lot of people using Gemini, ChatGPT. So let's say if you have amazing reviews and you visible on Google, and then people like, okay, last time I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, like, what's the best lawn care company? Like, yo, Yard Dawgs, like, okay, I'm sold completely. There's nothing to add. They have amazing reviews, great photos. They show me up, they trusted company, they have trucks. People see you on ChatGPT and Gemini, boom, that's it.
Mhm.
That's about AI and stuff. That what we see right now is very important. Experience, expertise, authority, and trust. Because there's a lot of AI slop as well. There's a lot of people using AI. Just remember to be real. Like real photos is super important. We don't build websites right now if you don't provide us photos. We want to see your real faces. We start adding this recently. I don't know if you've seen this, James, but that's for AI purposes. That's right on the homepage. Just a text for AI. So let's say they're scrolling the website and just right below the hero section, like, yeah, that's a Color Mark agency founded, or Aquamaster World Roofing's Toronto most trusted basement, 25 years, expertise, reviews. Chat LLMs platforms see that and they'll start recommending your business.
So almost like a quick little about summary near the
Yeah.
bottom there too. Just give me a quick.
So
Yeah.
it's how long you've been around, what services you're offering, and your location, most important.
Yeah, location, reviews, all of that is very important. Some awards as well we see works really well right now because
Short
yeah,
sentence.
correct. Because Google love to promote their services, of course, like Gemini, grab all of the information from YouTube, Google Maps, of course, and ChatGPT, citing your website, other services like Yelp, BBB, Better Business Bureau, as you can see, right? Like, let's say I'm searching for the best roofer. It's in my area again. It says Epic Roofing. Yeah, because BBB said so. And here's Gemini, right? Reddit, YouTube. You probably see this right now. Google something. You will see Reddit on the page number one, always. So if people talking about you in the Reddit, you will show up. And that's great for your brand, as well as YouTube. Yeah. Homestars, I'm not sure, guys. James, do you use still Homestars or not really?
We used to use home stars back in the day, but I found they really started to focus more so on HVAC, plumbing, electrician, so more higher ticket kind of home services. So for us being and landscaping, it was good for, but us in residential lawn care, I found they stopped caring about lawn care in particular back in kind of what you have there, 2022. So where I used to use them quite heavily in 2019, 2020, 21, we stopped using them because it just wasn't becoming as reliable for us. But that wasn't because home stars. In fact, I think it was just more so like they started to really focus on their niche and lawn care treatments just weren't in there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we see for some customers helps a lot, for some not really. It depends on your niche.
Mhm.
We use the framework called GREC, Google My Business Reviews, as you can see, Google Ads for home service businesses like LSA. LSA, it's great ads that you can set up on your own, and you pay per lead. You don't pay per click because, James could agree with that. Google Ads could be expensive.
Mhm.
And now it's GEO, right? AI-ready content and LLMs. Yeah, ready to scale, guys. Claim your Google My Business, get to 5-star reviews. And that's it. Thank you for your time. If you want to leave us a review, you can. You can just scan the QR code. Yeah, thank you, James.
We
Yeah,
have
no, the pleasure's mine. Thank you so much for having me.
sorry guys, we just have one more question if you have time, James.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, hey James, do you think it's better to offer all services in lawn care or landscaping, or choose a niche and work with that?
No, it's 100% better to choose a niche and go with that. You can make a lot of money doing anything, but you can't make a lot of money doing everything. You have to pick one. Now, at the start, there's a small exception. You could do everything because you have no idea what you're good at. You have no idea what people want, and you have no idea what makes money, what's profitable for you. So it's not unreasonable to do a whole bunch of services at the start of your career just to get your feet in the water. We window washing, power raking, air rating, mowing, landscaping. We did so many of them until we decide to focus on just like beautifying the lawns essentially. So, but the good slang is the riches are in the niches. If you use the American terminology, you have to go all in because like Chick-fil-A does like 6 pieces of chicken well. They're not cooking steaks. They're not cooking, egg McMuffins. Like they don't even do coffee, but they do chicken super well, which is why they're blowing up. Raising Cane's, they just does chicken fingers, like you got to be really good at a couple of things. And I think your business is no exception to that.
Great.
I
I think
agree with you
for
100%.
for
Yeah.
any business, right? Like we really hit our stride when we stopped doing marketing for everyone and really focused just on service-based businesses, right? We know how to
Hmm.
get the results, and it eliminates not half, but a majority of our workload that we have to figure out what to do for all these different types of businesses. Well, now we have a repeatable steps that we do for everyone. We know it works, right? Just by niching down.
Yep.
I think it's applicable to every type of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you go add another service line, get really good and swamped just doing your one couple of things. Amazon just sold books for a very long time before they went to the next thing. It's easy to look at Amazon and say, oh, they do everything. That's why they do so well. No, they're doing everything because they did so well just doing a couple of things until they decide to add on another thing there too. But to answer your question for landscape, like you mentioned, man, try a few things, but pick what are you the best at? What is the least amount of competition? And which one is your most profitable services that you can truly believe you can just dominate on if you went all in on it? Go all in on it, cut everything else. When I got a mentor in lawn care in particular, one of the first things he said to me was get rid of snow removal. I'm like, get rid of snow removal? Dude, I live in Calgary. Like you're down in the States. I'm in Calgary. Like I can only do lawn care 5 months out of the year. You're telling me to get rid of my other 7 months to another service. He said, yes, you're a lawn care company. You are using your axe or you are sharpening your axe. You are not going to go grab another tool. And it was scary when I did that. It was very scary and at the time, guys, snow was probably third of our revenue. I got rid of it, and our next year for lawn care was better than it's ever been before because we weren't being so distracted, like going in all these different directions. We hyper focused on just a couple of things.
Yeah,
And
adding to that, adding to that, man, there's a lot of people who come to us and they do a lot of services. Now it's harder for you to do marketing because now you have to do, and you have
Yeah.
to pay here and here and here. You have to create different GMB, and I was like, yo, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Right, for
And you
different
look at your
terms.
numbers and you don't even know what you're making money on. Like you see
Yeah.
your expenses for goods and materials. Well, what is that for? Is that for your fertilizer? Is that for like your rock? Is that for your bricks? Is that for your gas? Like it gets so complicated and there's so much like pollution between the numbers. You got to keep things clean and simple so you can really start to dial in on things. And that comes from simplicity, which comes from just doing a couple of things super well. No one remembers the guy that does like everything okay. They remember a couple companies that specialize in just this. I don't know about you, but if I'm having someone come to my house to like wash my windows, I want them to be very, very, very good at washing windows. I could care less if they know how to clean gutters too. I'm looking for someone that like I'm looking for the best window washer because I want people these days, guys, like they are definitely willing to spend more money for the job to get done right. The person that's looking for the cheapest price, you don't want that customer. You want the person that wants the job done right, then be the person that does that job well.
That's awesome.
Well
Yeah.
said. Hey, I mean, James, I don't want to take up your whole day. I really appreciate you coming through. It was a pleasure to learn about, everything you've done. For everyone in the chat, thank you also for spending your lunch with us. We're posting a link. If you're starting a business and you want a free SEO audit, just click the link there and come chat with us. We're always open to chatting with everyone. And yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
James,
Awesome.
see, I'm drinking the drink. I don't know if you see this. And guys,
Oh,
too,
look
who's
at
watching.
that.
Yeah. Right. So
No,
I'm
no
gonna stop
kidding.
by your office and gonna bring you some.
I need a few of those because I'm stuck on this one right here, and I'm sure yours is a lot better.
We'll bring you some.
Yeah,
Please
we're
do.
gonna stop by, give you
Yeah.
guys some. Thank you
I
so much.
appreciate that.
I love your company, and I said to the team, we should support each other. And you guys amazing. I love to watch you. Not often I follow companies. I follow other people, but not often I follow companies. But you guys doing amazing, and that's a great example of social media. So
James,
great.
how many times late at night Bogdan will send me a Yard Dog reel?
Yeah,
Laughing.
always.
I
Like
could
you.
probably pull up 5 in my Instagram DM from Bogdan. Always
Yeah.
12 p.m. watching Yard Dogs. So
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the kindness. Thank you.
yeah, awesome.
Tell
Any
Liam we
Well,
said hi.
questions, guys? Participants, any questions you have, guys? If so, yeah, please ask. If not, then
yeah, any final
any
questions?
questions? We have some people watching, so it's kind of fun. Our first webinar.
Yeah. It's awesome. You'll have to tell Liam we said hi and he missed out.
Yeah. No, I sure will here. So I'm going to log off here, guys. But great speaking with
Okay.
everyone. Thank you guys for having me, and I wish you the best of the rest of your day.
Sounds
Take
good.
care.
Been a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Have a
Bye.
good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We still have some people, or people some living. Yeah, okay. Wait.
Yeah, we'll see if there's any questions for a bit.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us.
Guys, that was amazing. You did such a great job. It's Kate.
Oh, Kate,
Thank
be
you,
here. Hi. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it went well.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, James offered like so much good information.
Yeah. Oh, a lot, right?
Yeah.
Well, the company because it's growing and they understand what to do.
Yeah.
SEO, 60% he said it's organic traffic who brought them a lot of leads. That's great. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, not just ads.
Not just
Amazing
ads.
job. Loved watching all of you and seeing what you do. Jennifer Flack.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Mr. Fleck doing well. Mr. Fleck is doing well. Guys, any questions? Ask if you have questions right now, or you can I can check your website if you want. We have time, so paste your website and I'll check and give you some things that you can improve on your website. Here we go. Maybe oh.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. See you next
Yeah.
time. 'Cause we're gonna do this monthly. We're gonna do
Yes.
this monthly.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye.